أيها المسيحيون الأعزاء في جميع أنحاء العالم ومن جميع الرعايا، أحييكم من مدينة القدس والقيامة، وأوجه إليكم دعوة خاصة للانضمام إلى موسم الخليقة. في خضم العنف ومع استمرار الحرب في هذه البلاد المقدسة، نصلي من أجل السلام والعدالة والمحبة لكي تجمع الشعوب. نصلي من أجل سلام مدينة القدس ومن أجل سلام الأراضي المقدسة والعالم. موسم الخليقة هو الاحتفال المسيحي السنوي للصلاة والاستجابة معا لصرخة القيامة. تتحد الأسرة المسكونية في جميع أنحاء العالم بشكل خاص خلال هذا الموسم للاستماع إلى بيتنا المشترك والعناية به. يبدأ هذا الموسم في الأول من أيلول سبتمبر عيد الخلق، وينتهي في الرابع من تشرين الأول أكتوبر عيد القديس فرانسيس الأسيسي شفيع الناشطين البيئيين في الكنيسة الكاثوليكية والمحبوب في العديد من الطوائف المسيحية. هذا العام بينما يشن البشر الحروب على بعضهم البعض وعلى الخليقة، سنتحد حول موضوع السلام مع الخليقة.
Season of creation is a time to renew our relationship with God, our Creator and all creation, through celebration, conversion, and commitment together. The preparation stage for Season of Creation this year begins in February. God is calling us in different ways in our diverse contexts. To celebrate the season ecumenically, we must first reach out to other ecumenical leaders and call our communities to discern how to listen to and respond to the cry of creation. The preparation stage is key to preparing for the season of creation, creating bonds and relationships, renewing the joy of meeting and embracing each other, and cultivating the gifts of communion and peace as the people of God together with our common home.
We would like to share with you some of the memories of last year. As people of faith from Argentina to Zimbabwe gathered to celebrate the season of creation, in celebration and in protest, in joy and in sorrow.
Isaiah 32:14-18. For the palace will be forsaken, the populous city deserted. The hill and the watchtower will become dens forever, the joy of wild asses, a pasture for flocks, until a spirit from on high is poured out on us, and the wilderness becomes a fruitful field, and the fruitful field is deemed a forest. Then justice will dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness abide in the fruitful field. The effect of righteousness will be peace, and the result of righteousness, quietness and trust forever. My people will abide in a peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings, and in quiet resting places.
Humanity is waging war on creation. The prophet Isaiah in chapter 32 verse 14 pictured the desolated creation without peace because of the lack of justice and the broken relationship between God and humankind. This description of devastated cities and wastelands eloquently stresses the fact that human destructive behaviors have negative impact on the earth. God's plan for all creation entails justice and peace. But human sins are waging wars and causing suffering for the whole of creation. Humankind is in distress, and the entire earth lies in ruin. From the palaces of the rich to the farmlands of the poor, from the threatened forests to the depths of the oceans. The prophet Isaiah describes what the dwelling of human is like when creation has no peace.
Then justice will dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness abide in the fruitful field.
For hope, creation will find peace when justice is restored. There is still hope and the expectation for a peaceful earth. To hope in a biblical context does not mean to stand still and quiet, but to act, pray, change, and reconcile with creation and the Creator in unity, metanoia, and solidarity. The biblical verses chosen for the Season of Creation 2025 theme picture creation at peace where the people of God shall live, but only when justice is achieved. The Lord's righteousness is associated with both peace between humanity and also the restoration of the fertility of the land. The theme for this year's Season of Creation calls us to work for peace with creation.
Bustan Salam, le jardin de la paix.
Isitia Soxolo.
O Jardim da Paz.
Garden of Peace.
Na história bíblica do dilúvio, a pomba desempenha um papel de mensageira abençoada. A pomba enviada na arca de Noé retorna à arca com um ramo de oliveira em seu bico, sinalizando que o dilúvio está recuando. Como a história do dilúvio começa com uma situação em que a terra está cheia de violência, o retorno da pomba com o ramo de oliveira passou a ser conhecido como um sinal de nova paz. Quando os cristãos veem o símbolo da pomba, eles pensam no Espírito de Deus, como é descrito nos Evangelhos. O Espírito de Deus desceu sobre Jesus como uma pomba em seu batismo. Pensar no Espírito ressoa como no texto de Isaías 32, onde é prometido que o Espírito do alto será derramado sobre nós, e dele fluirá justiça, paz, tranquilidade e confiança para o deserto e campo fértil, para toda a criação. Paz e bem.
عام 2025 هو عام تاريخي، فقبل 1700 عام بالضبط وفي هذا العام انعقد مجمع نيقيا المجمع المسكوني الأول في عام 325 ميلادية. اجتمع المجمع لحل النزاعات التي هددت وحدة الكنيسة، وفي هذا المجمع صيغ قانون الإيمان النيقاوي. ومع الكلمات الافتتاحية التي تؤكد إيماننا المشترك، نؤمن بإله واحد، الله الآب ضابط الكل، خالق السماء والأرض، ما يرى وما لا يرى. إنه الوقت المناسب لنتأمل بما نعنيه عندما نعترف بالله خالق كل الأشياء، ليس فقط الطبيعة. وتم التأكيد مرارا وتكرارا في سفر التكوين أن كل ما صنعه الله حسن. يظهر لنا تجسد السيد المسيح أن الله الثالوث يتجلى في الخلق، وأن ملكوت الله يعتلن حيثما يجري العدل ويحل السلام بيننا. نجتمع معا خلال موسم الخليقة كعائلة مسكونية واحدة لنحتفل بهذه العائلة التي نجدها في قانون الإيمان النقاوي، هذا القانون التاريخي، بينما نتعامل أيضا مع التحديات التي نواجهها اليوم. إن الطريقة التي نتعامل بها نحن البشر مع الخليقة ومع بعضنا البعض تطغي عليها الحرب بين الشعوب والحرب ضد الخليقة. نحن بحاجة إلى التوبة، فلنغتنم هذا الزمن الكيروس بينما نحتفل بمرور 1700 عام على القانون النقاوي، ونصلي ونعمل معا في موسم الخليقة هذا من أجل السلام مع الأرض والسلام على الأرض.
God calls us to act on our faith. And this year, the season of creation is calling for action to address the huge costs of climate change and ecological destruction, which are being faced by the most vulnerable people. There can be no peace without justice. And one of the biggest injustices facing our world today is the huge level of debt owed by the poor and vulnerable countries to rich countries, suffering the worst impacts of climate change, even though they have done the least to cause it. Forced to take out loans to build back after climate disasters, they become further trapped in debt. An intergenerational injustice. Rich countries should be providing finance to poorer countries to address the impacts of climate change and ecological destruction. But due to unfair interest rates, funds are actually flowing from poorer countries towards richer countries. This leaves impacted countries without the funds to tackle climate and ecological breakdown in their own countries. 2025 has been declared the year of Jubilee by the Catholic Church, a year of forgiveness of sins and debts. And Season of Creation will be supporting the call for major debt relief for the poorest countries. We invite everyone participating in this season to join this call and to tell decision makers that these unfair, unsustainable debts must be cancelled before we can live in peace with each other and creation. There must be a time of justice and reconciliation, and ending debt is one step on the road to that.
Season of Creation is a time of global ecumenical solidarity, when we recognize that we are all interconnected. Go to seasonofcreation.org for all the latest updates. There you will find concrete proposals to prepare and live this season intentionally through prayer, sustainability initiatives, and advocacy actions. We are launching the Season of Creation theme this year in February, after the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity celebrated in the Northern Hemisphere, and after Pentecost, when the Southern Hemisphere celebrates the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity. The official celebration guide will be available in several languages on the website, as well to help you with even more concrete ideas and an ecumenical prayer service for your community to use. We hope that this Season of Creation renews and unites us by the one baptism and called to care for our common home. We invite you to plan and prepare your own participation in the celebration. Let us pray and act together for peace, for creation.